And, welcome everybody to the mastermind. Hopefully we get quite a few more on as you realtors continue to show up late every week after week. But Jonathan and I hopped on 5 minutes early, which is on time in our book. And Jonathan's I would say a recent friend of mine, right? Like we've recently started interacting and realized there's absolute ton of synergy between the two of us and what we're doing. And I hope that all of you get to experience that as well with him. Jen Schiff was the one that brought you into our family here, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So Jen's been with us for about a year. She's based out of the Baltimore area, as are you. And I'll let you kind of roll with it a little bit. Your topic, give yourself a little intro, but also I'm super excited about your topic because I was saying before people hopped on, it's something that I don't know much about either. And there's a lot of stuff there isn't that much stuff that I don't know much about. So I'm really excited to take a deep dive into this with you.
Thanks, Brett. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and pleasure to be in business and connected with you as well, man. We definitely vibrate on a similar frequency. So looking to mastermind, collaborate, and continue to grow with you. You're amazing, dude. I love what you're doing, what Dave's doing. So just first of all, thank you. Kudos to you. What you're doing is huge for the industry, just elevating and raising all ships. So thank you again for that. My name is Jonathan Kirk. I'm a local real estate agent to Baltimore, Maryland. Have been licensed for close to 9 years. Started the business on a real estate sales team, one of the biggest teams here in the Pikesville, Baltimore area in Maryland, under a different system than I'm now with today. And shortly after, started my own home group in 2013. And 2014 rolled around. I found out I was going to be a father for the first time. Was forced to kind of look at the books and realized I was absolutely broke. I had no listings and started cold calling, started building my business, calling expireds. Absolutely took off with that once I got the right listing presentations, hired the right coach, and really just cut my teeth in the business the hard way, cold calling, prospecting, building that sales pipeline up by just pounding the streets. As my family grew, as I started to spend more and more time away from home and find out that I had another full-time job, which is just prospecting to find the business, I started to look at alternative methods to grow my business and scale it. Obviously, the disruption was coming with online. Redfin was already here at that time. Realtor.com was here at that time. Zillow had already been here at that time. There was no home like then, but it was just starting to creep in, and wanted to automate my business and wanted to receive online leads. Had a software coach, hired mentors in the software space for targeted keyword research to create evergreen content. And then, got a Carrot website, carrot.com on 2018, didn't touch it for about a year. And then finally started to do some work to it, started to get some more information of how to create the right types of content by doing keyword research, and built my business since 2018 to be completely online. We still receive a ton of referrals. We work with a lot of investors here in Baltimore. So I'd say 50% of my business is referrals and investors. The other 50% comes from my Google My Business profile, my websites, and my YouTube channels. And then obviously homelight.com and the other online portals. But since 2018, I haven't made a cold call. And that's pretty special for somebody like me who built my business cold calling. It's literally in my blood. I love the thrill, the challenge. Like literally, it's almost like, when I watch these UFC fights, my heart starts pounding. Even though I'm not in the ring, I get real excited for these guys. That's the feeling that I get when I'm getting ready to make the cold calls. I'm getting ready to get in the ring and do battle. Haven't had to go through that, fortunately, to build my business in the last couple of years, because everything that I've been focused on has been to create more freedom, more flexibility, more predictability, and more consistency within my business. And that all comes from online leads, from creating evergreen content, which is content that never really loses its relevance and continues to work for you over and over and over again, even though you just took one time to create it. You spent maybe 5 minutes to create that one video, and it just works for you over and over again, versus being on a hamster wheel of constantly making the calls, constantly having to pound the pavement. And as soon as you hop off that hamster wheel, the income stops, the lead stops. So that was my focus. And fortunately, it's worked out for me so far.
I dig that. And I would imagine too, since a lot of us are prospecting heavy, that there probably wasn't just the jump right to it, right? I'd imagine you kind of started to bring that up with it on the content side of things.
Yeah, man, I went in tandem with it. I mean, literally, when I had my website, I didn't know what evergreen content was. I didn't even know how the internet worked. Really, that's the biggest thing. And it's not something to be embarrassed about. You know what I mean? This is like information that, gets hoarded by the SEO software people. I mean, look, they came into our industry for a reason in the first place. Zillow, Trulia, Redfin.com, Realtor.com, HomeLight.com, OfferPad, Purple Bricks, you know, all these companies, they saw us as real estate agents chasing our tails, looking for the next, where's our next deal? Where's our next deal? They're like, you know what? We're going to come into this industry and we're going to disrupt them because they're so focused on where their next deal is coming from. They're not even thinking about dominating the authority online and creating evergreen content. So the problem is that, we were not telling a story. So the only story that was being told is the only story that was being heard, which is the big technology stories, the national broker stories, which have the money to actually spend the marketing dollars to show up on page one of these search engines, until we start to empower ourselves and get the knowledge and wisdom to take the game back. And that's what happened. It was like a switch that flipped. Once I figured out the way the internet worked, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, it's that easy. Like, all I have to do is just like download this plugin called Keywords Everywhere to my Chrome browser. And now when I type a keyword into Google, I can see how many times a month it's searched. What? I was like, this is crazy. I was like, let me type this keyword in right here. I was like, Baltimore Realtors. I was like, wow, that's searched 590 times per month. It's like, what the hell am I doing cold calling people when I can literally show up on page one of Google and there's 500 clients that will see me every single month? I'm like, duh, no brainer. So once I figured that out, I was like, dude, I'm off to the races. I was like, I can't look back. It's almost like what we say, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's the same thing, So then you go down this rabbit hole of typing in all these different keywords and key phrases into Google. And you're like, wow, I can create content around that keyword. I can create content around that keyword. And really all I have to do is create content around it, target it, optimize it, and I'm going to rank. I was like, I'm game. So I went down that journey of figuring out how to do that, which was not the easiest. It took me a couple of years to figure it out, which I'm going to really condense into, a half hour, 45 minutes for you guys today. But it's really that easy. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to do your keyword research. The way the internet works is it works based upon keywords, right? So like, all of us use Google probably at a very high level. The difference is that when you type a keyword into Google on your PC, you're only seeing how many results it yields. You're not seeing how many searches per month people are typing that in, how many times per month. So once you have that power at your fingertips, it's a complete game changer, because then you will start to look at, the way you grow your business differently. You're going to start to say, okay, cool. If this word, if New Jersey Realtors is typed in 1,000 times per month, why wouldn't I be including the keyword term New Jersey Realtors inside every blog post on my website, inside every Google My Business post on my Google My Business console, and then physically saying the word to YouTube when you're saying, hey guys, Brett Sikora here. Chances are you probably landed on this video because you were searching for realtors in New Jersey. Like, that's the way you give it back to the system, because YouTube has their own transcription services. So they're going to listen to the words that you're saying to rank it to see if it's original, relevant, and current enough for them to pop it up to the top of the search feed. And then when people are typing that in and they see you on page one, I mean, they're going to click on you. They're going to click on other people as well, but you're going to get leads that are coming to you in an automated fashion versus you having to go pound the pavement to find out who's interested. So it was just a complete game changer for me.
So are you actually, I guess, like step one in this whole thing, do you actually start auditing and searching and playing around to see like who's getting the biggest response on these things? Like I was talking to somebody about funnels and using actually on the agent coaching side of things. Mm-hmm. And he was saying you have to go into Facebook groups and you have to actually ask, what were your biggest struggles before you had your first real estate transaction, or how did you scale from 1 to 10, or like, and start actually asking the person you want to speak to, like, what is it that they need to hear? That's kind of what you're doing through Google as well, right? Where you're
correct. I'm getting in the minds of my end desired client, right? So, they already have a problem or a question that they need solved. So they're either going to, like, if somebody wants to sell their house fast, like one of the most profitable keywords here in Baltimore is sell my house Baltimore. that's searched only 7 times per month, but it's a $59 cost per click, right? And I'm ranking on page 1 right under the paid ads without paying $1. So I'm there without paying anything, where if I clicked on one of those ads, I just cost them 59 bucks, just like that. I'm like, I don't want to pay per click. I just want to be up there organically. So what I did is I created a brand new page in my website. I named it Sell My House Baltimore. I went down to the bottom of the page. I typed in the keyword under audit, and then I went to work on the on-page SEO, which is like the meta title, the meta description, subject density, keyword links, URL slug, the intro, and the title. And once the on-page SEO is in the green, it's good or excellent. It's just a matter of time before you share it out to Facebook. You post it on your Google My Business profile before it starts to get up there and start ranking, as long as the content that's on that page is current, relevant, and original. It's not something that you copied and pasted off of Google, because Google has crawlers. They read and rank the internet based upon the content that's on there. So if you're just copying and pasting from somebody in Las Vegas and you're plugging in your keywords here in Baltimore, Google's going to be like, no, dude, I already saw that up there. Like, that's not original, right? That's not you, that's somebody else. So it's not going to be rewarded as nicely as it would be if it came from your mind, from your soul. So it's all about being yourself, right? So like, if it's a keyword term like Sell My House Baltimore, I'm going to create content across multiple platforms. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on that ring light behind me, and I'm going to do like a 2 to 3 minute video utilizing what I like to call the GTI formula, which is grab, teach, invite. Too many times realtors and professionals are on YouTube and they're literally trying to teach a half-hour class on YouTube. The problem is that if YouTube goes away tomorrow, your whole stream of income goes away. So I utilize YouTube as a tool for what it is. And I just grab, teach, invite. So if I'm like, hey guys, Brett Sikora here, with the Sikora group, chances are you probably landed on this video because you were searching for Sell My House Hoboken. Fortunately, you landed in the right place. We're specialists here. We're one of the premier real estate companies in the area. One tip that I can give you folks when it comes to selling your house fast is XYZ. I give them the tip. So I grab them, I teach them, and after I teach them, I invite them to come over to my website. I'll say, if you guys liked or enjoyed this video, please drop the like below, comment with any questions, and of course, subscribe for more information. And then if you guys want to see what it's like to work with the Sikora Group here in Hoboken, New Jersey, head on over to our website at www.sikoragroup.com. Be looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. That's it, out. So that way it gives you a formula to follow when you're actually creating the video. So you're not like, well, what do I say? Like, what? So many people are like, I want to create content, but I don't know what to say. You don't have to do that. You just need one little tip to give them. And then you're going to say the same thing in the intro and the grabbing, and the same thing at the end of the invite. The only thing that's going to be original to your video is that 1 minute or 2 minutes that you're actually teaching them something. And it could be just a little bit of a tidbit that you give them. One little tip, let them know, like strong C factors, smile, eye contact, excitement. If you guys liked and enjoyed this video, drop me a like down below, comment for more information, of course, subscribe. And if you want to see what it's like to work with the Kirk Home Group, head on over to our website at kirkhomegroup.com. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. And I'm out. I'm done. Then I've created my video for YouTube. I'm not going to upload it straight from my phone. I'm going to send an email to my email account, and I'm going to download that video, and I'm going to name the MP4 file the actual keyword that I want to rank for. So this is a huge, there's so many steps in it, and like our modules go over that, but I'll name that MP4 file Sell My House Baltimore. Then I'll go to YouTube. I'll upload that video to YouTube. I'll make sure it's optimized on YouTube. So the title is dialed in, my description is dialed in, the tags, the categories, the transcription with the captions, all dialed in. You have to optimize your YouTube video. So that's optimized. That's going out there to YouTube. But once that's done, I'll go ahead and embed that YouTube link into my website. This is going into the repurposing the content across multiple platforms. I'll go ahead and embed it into a brand new blog post or a brand new page on my website. Do the same thing I did with YouTube, working on the on-page SEO, making sure the tags, the categories, the on-page SEO is dialed in with my blog or my page. Once it is, I go ahead and I publish that. So I got a published YouTube video. Now I got a published blog post page on my website. And then I'm going to take it a step further, right? I'm going to go ahead and take that URL for my blog post, and I'm going to backlink that into my Google My Business profile, make a brand new post on my Google My Business page, which a lot of people overlook. It's been the most profitable lead source for the Kirk Home Group these last 2 years. We get the majority of business from it. I'll go copy and paste a paragraph from my blog, put it in there to the post. When it says learn more at the bottom of your Google My Business profile, I backlink that URL of my published blog post on my website, and I publish that out. So now what I've done is I've taken one piece of content that took me 3 minutes to record, repurposed it across 3 different platforms, and we're still not even done, because then I'm going to take that URL link, I'm going to share it to Facebook, I'm going to share it to LinkedIn, I'm going to publish it to Twitter. So we're just firing on all cylinders and really pouring lighter fluid on top of this fire that we've already built with our YouTube channel to really 10x our exposure across all the platforms that are out there.
I think that's what, so there's 2 things happening there. There's the creating the content, which I feel like a lot of realtors don't necessarily have an issue doing, or some, like they're creating videos, they're putting Instagram reels up, they're doing this, they're doing that. But they're not focusing in on a target audience like you're talking about doing. And there's no call to action. There's nothing to actually monetize that. I see so many people that have 45,000 followers on Instagram and they sell 8 homes a year. There's no correlation between the two. Whereas this is like, you're actually doing this, and this. And if you do it properly, it makes your phone ring. And then obviously there's a whole follow-up and everything like that. And you have to present properly. But I feel like there's actually a plan around it, which is refreshing to hear, because on me, like, I don't have a clue. I'll shoot a YouTube. I was talking to you before we came on here. And I'm just like, nah, I mean, I feel like I have all these pre-recorded. I have so much content in this, but I wouldn't know what to do with it. I have no idea.
Dude, we could slay with all the content that you've created. Like, there's targeted keywords that realtors in Hoboken, New Jersey are searching for, so they can attach themselves to a source greater than themselves to grow their business. And you're right, man. Like, it pains me when I see, look, so there's so many rock stars in my local market. They create amazing content on their Facebook stories. You know what sucks about that is that it's going to disappear in 24 hours and nobody's ever going to see it again. Why would you waste time creating something of valuable content to have it just disappear? Or like another post where they're like pulling out their phone and they're sharing some really great information, and then they post it to Facebook and then it's gone in 24, 48 hours, never to be seen again. I'll message them. I'm like, dude, download that video. Why don't you upload that to your YouTube channel and target that for a keyword that you want to rank for? They're like, for what? I'm like, oh man. You know, like, it's tough, because it's like, if you're not in on it, you just don't get it. They're just creating content just to create content. You can never create content just to create content. But bottom line, everybody who's listening to this, never ever create a piece of content ever again, unless you do your keyword research first. You should have the keyword first and create the content around that, versus creating content and be like, which keyword do I want to put into? No, that's backwards. If you just want to create content just to create content, like, sometimes I'll post a story too, and I'll be like, hey guys, what's up? You know what I mean? Something that's like meaningless. I'll share that I really don't care that much about. If it doesn't get seen again, that's cool for Facebook stories or Instagram stories. But in reality, if you want something to be dominating your local market, you want it to last the test of time, do your keyword research first. Find out what your consumers are typing into Google to solve their home sale problems, answer their home sale questions, and then create the content around that. And then text me when you get your first lead, because it's going to happen. You're going to get found.
You know what's so funny about that too? And I see, like, David Finale, we talk a lot around the agent attraction side of things. And I have a video that I put up on YouTube 2 years ago when we left Keller Williams and we came to EXP with no plan whatsoever. I just uploaded to, I don't even know I don't know keyword, I don't know how to tag things. I don't know anything like that. I just put it there. And I've probably recruited 3 or 4 people locally in New Jersey who see it, know nothing about me, know nothing about production levels or anything, because I don't mention it in the video. Right. And just call me and say, hey, Brett, I saw your video on YouTube, you know, interested in joining EXP. And you know what's incredible about me is I have not taken that data and shot another video since then and put it on YouTube. That's like, so just to point out how screwed up all of us are as realtors, that's like a perfect example. It's like, there's no thought into that. It didn't go anywhere other than it's just rolling on YouTube, and people just call me every now and then from it.
You will now, bro.
No, I know. Well, listen to this, and I'm thinking, like, Finale, you and I, we could just go shoot so much stuff, man. I mean, but again, I think that it has to have a plan. It has to have purpose. And John, let me ask you this too, because it makes and this might be where you're going with the call too, but it makes my head hurt thinking about doing all, is there a way to actually just say, hey, Brett, Dave, I need 3 minutes of footage around for sale by owners. Like Dave had a really good question with me where he's like, hey, if you needed to get a listing by Friday, how would you go get it? And I just brain dumped for like 3 minutes. That would have been a great, for a realtor kind of thing. And it was all around for sale by owners. If we had captured that like how does that, is there an easy way to make this happen for real estate agents?
Dude, it's so easy, man. It literally is so easy. I promise you, it's almost like once I found it out, I'm like, as soon as people find out about this, I'm going to have immediate competition. And that's exactly what happened in my local market. I started a website company when the pandemic hit in March. It's still not out yet because software always takes a little bit longer to develop. It's called minutespages.com, lead sites in minutes. During that time it was being developed, I had so many realtors reaching out to me and be like, hey, bro, I need a website. Like, I need a website now. And I'm like, well, it's coming, right? So what happened was I just was forced to start consulting other agents utilizing the carrot.com platform I was using because I didn't want them to go other places. And literally my consulting and coaching business skyrocketed. It blew up. I got like 35 one-to-one coaching clients. We're working on a group model right now, but I've got clients here in my own backyard that I'm like, oh, wow, they're outranking me now. So I'm like, that's cool. Not like, you know what I mean? Like, I've created my own competition because it was that easy. Somebody that didn't know what I knew for 2 years, I taught them for 12 weeks and now they're outranking me. They're taking my leads, they're taking my listings. And that's amazing. Like, kudos to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to do well because when you succeed through others, it rises all ships. That's cool. The cool thing about our business is that, I was always taught to give everything I have away, right? Like, it leaves you open to receive more, where the SEO software industry, they will hoard this information because they know that once we get our fingers on it, we're going to exploit it. So it's as simple, Brett, as just downloading Keywords Everywhere into your Chrome browser. It's a plugin. So like this way here, can I share my screen with you real quick?
Yeah, let me, I'm just make you co-host. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to like see.
Yeah. So let's go to Google right here. Check this out. So when I go to google.com, let's say I type in sell my house, Baltimore, right? And you could see right here that this keyword term volume, you see this 70 searches per month right there?
Yep.
That's the keywords everywhere is right here in your top right. You're going to download that into your Chrome browser. You're going to have to pay $10 to get 100,000 credits, which I did like a year and a half ago. I've still got 81,000 left. So the $10 will get you 100,000 credits. It should last you for a lifetime. If you guys are not doing keyword research, no problem. Just turn your keywords everywhere thing off. I leave it on all the time because I'm like, whatever. The credits are so cheap. I like to see how many times everything is searched. Again, this does not work on your iPhone. It only works on the PC. But coming over here to sell my house, Baltimore, you could see the volume. What does that cost per click say, Brett?
It is $59.
That's right. So right here, if I click that, that's going to cost them $59. If I click that, that's going to cost them $59. So this is the pay per click for the organic links. Coming down here to the Google Map searches. These are the organic Google My Business profiles that are ranking organically. And then right down here, you'll see Creo Home Solutions. And then right here, here's your boy right here. Page 1 on a $59 cost per click. I show up organically without paying $1. Here's my capture page. Here's some information. And I get a ton of listings through this because there's people that think that they want to sell their house fast to an investor. I walk in the door, I give them a cash offer. If it's a little low, I'll say, well, by the way, I can list it and sell it for you for 15, 25% more than I can buy it from you from. And they're like, you can? Because look, this is all investors, Creo Home Solutions, dependable home buyers, bigger equity, direct Maryland cash buyers, houses for cash, sell my Baltimore house fast, CR of Maryland. All of them are home buyers. Your boy right here, I'm the only realtor up here, right? So I'm competing in a range where there's mostly home buyers and there's no realtors. So I'm disrupting that local space for them right there. So that's where you want to kind of start is with the Keywords Everywhere plugin into your Chrome browser. If you're Googling keyword terms, let's say realtors in Hoboken, look at that, Hoboken, NJ, 90 times per month. So it's not a ton, right? But it's a cost per click of $4.31. Look at this handsome fella right here. So you're up here ranking right here. Here's the Google guarantee, right? So we're paying to be here, but right here, This is the organics right here. So this is where the GMB should also be ranking organically. So they should see you here, they should see you here, and they should also see you right here organically. So, and this is the website that's going to show up. This is the Google My Business that's going to show up. And this is the paid Google My Business that's going to show up. And this is the paid organics pay-per-click that's going to show up. So this has been a new algorithm that just came down the pike right here. But look over here, you can literally load some different keyword terms like real estate agents in Hoboken. Let's see what this one is. 50 times per month. So not that great, right? So those aren't very highly searched terms, but still they're terms that I would be ranking for. Even if I got 5 of those 50 people per month, I'm getting 5 more leads than I would have gotten otherwise. And so that's why it's really important that, you know, we start to rank for those keyword terms like Baltimore Realtors. I've been dropping down in my rankings for this keyword term. Let me see here, Baltimore Realtors. So here's organically, I'm killing it right here with the Google My Business with the maps. And then usually I was on page 1. Here I am. So I am on page 1 right now. So I'm usually killing it right here. You'll see me up here. If you click on more agents, usually right here. So Kirk Home Group of eXp Realty, which is right there. And then if I click the back button, I'm also going to show up on the maps right there organically. And I'm also going to show up organically again right here. So if I didn't get them up top, I'm going to get them in the middle. If I didn't get them in the middle, I'm going to get them down here. And they're like, God, I keep seeing that name, Kirk Home Group. So that's the game that has to be played, is the keyword research game. If you know what keywords people are typing into Google to solve their real estate problems or answer their real estate questions, you're absolutely going to dominate unrestricted without a lot of competition, because not a lot of people know about this right now.
Do you see more people? Do you see a better result leaving it more vague, more open, more of a numbers thing, or to go more in on, you know, 2-bedroom condos in Hoboken for sale or something like that?
Yeah, dude. Well, you can do the keyword research. If that's searched 0 times per month, you're absolutely not going to create content around it. You're only going to create content around the keywords that are high volume searches. So that way, you know that a lot of people are looking for those answers to those questions.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Does anybody, I mean, I feel like he's been a fire hose recently, like in the last 30 minutes. Does anybody have any questions from what you've heard so far?
Yeah, Jonathan, it's Dave Finale here. I wanted to echo a couple of things you said. One of the things was that, you know, I'll talk about it. You know, you think about, you got to do this before anybody else gets it. But honestly, you know, you are you're still unique. And I think you're always going to be unique, simply because my proof was when I had my brokerage 4, 5, 6 years ago, I was the only local brokerage that was on page 1 instead of Zillow and all those other ones, because of the keyword research that we did with my company and stuff. So this is, I mean, while this is a call to action for everybody on this call, it's also important to not overthink it and just do exactly what you said. You know, if it's a high volume search, then create a page for it, right? Plain and simple. And that will work every time. And you'll always be up there, and it'll surprise the hell out of everybody. And it is a tool you can use for everything.
So funny you mentioned that, Dave. Thank you for mentioning that, because I was so focused on my coaching clients and helping them build their websites since November to like February. I stepped down from number 2 spot for Baltimore Realtors down to page 2. I was like, whoa, I saw my rankings go down. So I did exactly what you just said. About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I created a brand new page on my website called Baltimore Realtors. I did the on-page SEO. I dialed that thing in. I retargeted across multiple platforms. And you just saw me. I was a little unsure when I typed in Baltimore Realtors, but I'm back on page 1. So it's already starting to work for me. So thank you for bringing that up, because you're right. If you target the keywords and you just dumb it down and just keep it simple, you're going to succeed. When you overcomplicate it, that's when you're going to start to be focusing on too many different silver coins.
And here, Jonathan, I think the simple thing that everybody is listening to this has to understand is that it really is simple. It's not as stressing as it might sound, because as Brett said, you were a little bit of a fire hose, even for me, which was really cool, right? I love it. But I can tell you that 6 months after I sold my brokerage, including the website, they were no longer on page 1 because they stopped what they were doing, because they didn't want to pay the extra $10 a month, whatever it was, right? And it was concerning to me, it was like a baby. I had built this website and it worked. But this stuff works. It's just a matter of, look, blocking your time to do what you've got to do and take the time to do the research, because it's actually fun when it starts working.
It is. It is. And it's freeing. You're like, well, I don't have to go hit the phones for 2 hours today. I just got to make a 3-minute video and let me just figure out what keyword I'm going to create the content around. It is fun because you get to pop that ring light open, you get to get in front of the camera, and you're delivering value that's never going to lose its relevancy. It's going to go out into the stratosphere and just continue to work for you over and over and over again, especially if it's useful information, relevant, current, and original. You can't lose, because the thing is, Dave, is that, we as realtors, we're beating ourselves. We're our own biggest enemy. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right. So especially with big technology, they're betting on us that we're not going to create content. They're betting on us to not tell our story. So therefore they're telling the story for us, because that's the only story that's being told. So these consumers, they think, I've got to go to Zillow. I've got to go to HomeLight, because they're the only ones that are on the internet. And just like mailing, when you farm a neighborhood, it takes 6 to 9 months before they see that brand exposure, before they're comfortable to click on you. So the one thing I don't want is people to be like, well, I'm on page 1 and I haven't, well, guess what? I was on page 1 for like 8 or 9 months before I finally got my first lead, because it's just like mailing into a new farm. They need to see that name over and over again before they're comfortable taking action with it.
Well, you know what? It goes to the thing that I've always taught my agents is you want to be available and want to be seen by those that are high tech, low tech, and no tech. So actually what you're doing is high tech and low tech, because anybody that's online is going to see your stuff. But the no tech stuff, and which is really the killer punch, is when they do make a mailing and they say, oh shit, I saw that guy, right? There's so many ways to create omnipresence. And
it's a celebrity effect.
It's just amazing. It works, and snail mail and email and all this stuff. You put that all together, I mean, you're going to blow up.
Yeah, you're going to be unbeatable in your local market. And that's where it's going right now. Everything is online, especially now with pandemic, with the lockdown, everything we've been dealing with. More people are on their phones more than they ever have been before, looking to solutions for their problems and answers to their questions. So the question is, are you going to show up or are you not going to show up? Are you going to become an authority in your local market, or are you going to continue to become a commodity in your local market? Because I could literally take a penny, throw it down my street, hit 10, 15 realtors. The only difference that separates me from them is that I rank on page 1 of the search engines where people are lined up waiting for my services. They do not. So that's the differentiating factor, because chances are they're just as good of a realtor as I am. The difference is that they're not telling their story and I am.
I think another example of this, Jonathan, is the copycats, right? Copycat realtors do not work, because that's the 80 to 90% that are looking at what you're doing, and they're not looking at what you did. They're just looking at what you did. And what I mean by that is that they're looking at the surface, right? The tip of the iceberg, which is what you're on. They see your website and they say, oh yeah, I'm going to create a website with a similar name that sounds really cool, like Kirk's. And I'm going to be famous just like, and get all this business like he is.
Right.
It's not like that.
Correct.
And that's what I call a copycat realtor. You see this, and these people are also seen on Facebook saying, hey, look, I just listed this house and it sold in 2 days. That's a copycat realtor, because he's got nothing else behind him.
Yeah. And look, that post is going to disappear in 24, 48 hours, never to be seen again. So it's not evergreen content. I'm as guilty as taking pictures with my clients, at the closing table, but you're not going to see me, make a YouTube video about it, because it loses its relevance the day it closes. It's like, that's great. You sold a transaction. Congratulations, John. Like, great job. But then what? Like, what value does that deliver to me as the home seller or the home buyer? It really just shows me validity that you know what you're doing, but it doesn't educate me on how you do what you do, or how I should find out how to do what I do.
You just said it in a nutshell. It's not what you do, it's how you do what you do.
Correct.
Let me ask you this, like Jeff, I don't know if Jeff Bonk, if you're behind there, but he has like he does a lot in Hoboken and does it specifically in like the luxury buildings. Is there value if he went and got real granular around price per square foot and how certain things affect different values in this building versus that building, and the doorman versus the pool and stuff like that? Do you think, like, I know it's nichey, but is there something there?
If it's being searched, absolutely. That's why it's so simple, bro. It's like, you don't even have to worry about what's going to work, what's not going to work, because what works in my market is very different from your market. Like you saw Baltimore Realtors, when I Googled it, it was searched 590 times per month. When I searched Hoboken Realtors, it was 90 times per month. So
Right.
the keyword terms that are buzzwords in my market are going to be different than the buzzwords in your market. You have a very different market. So people might be searching, price per square foot or certain units in certain buildings. I have no idea until I actually do the research. But the one thing I can tell you is that you could drop me off in any state in this country. Doesn't matter where you drop me off. Give me 6 to 9 months. I will be dominating that local market online. And they're going to be like, who the hell is this kid? Where the hell did he come from? It's like, I came from Baltimore and now I'm disrupting your market. And the next market I go into, I'm going to disrupt them also, simply because I follow a formula, which is a proven process.
Right. I'm all over it, man. There's like 500-600 searches a month for like addresses up here. It's over. Game over. We're creating them.
Just make a page on your site for all those searches, man, because that's organic. That's there. It's granular.
I had a question though, back to Brett. You kind of asked this and it was somewhat answered. First of all, thank you guys so much for this call today. I've been so much already. So I have a couple of admins that are like overworked right now. I feel like I need another admin for this, to do this on a good base, on like a really consistent basis. Is that true? Is there a platform out there that's like a plug and play? Do you provide something? Is there something that you recommend, or like a training program or something where I can go through it with someone and then?
Yeah, buddy. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, I actually do, I do one-to-one consulting for this. We do have a couple slots that are open, but I'm just going to show you an example of what I do. So this is, let me log out here and log into mine. So these are all my clients, guys. You know what I mean? So these are all my clients, and I built them their website through the same type of portal that I'm currently using right now, which is called agentcarrot.com. So as I log in here, the answer to your question is yes. We have a 12-week program that we run where I will get you up and running and dominate your local market within 12 weeks. You'll come into the inner circle, and then, we'll be doing group calls twice a week, so on and so forth. So yes, there is a program. I've got 35, 40 people in it right now. But what we would do is we would basically get you plugged in with either a Minute Pages website or a Carrot website. And just to kind of give you an idea of what the back end looks like here, Dave, like, here are all my pages, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all my pages. See the SEO? Excellent. SEO, good. Excellent. So, and then I have location pages as well, because the location pages are capturing the home buyer keywords, right? Because people are Googling homes for sale in Hoboken, New Jersey. I guarantee you that's searched over 2,000 times per month. Same with me, homes for sale in Pikesville. So I build location pages to capture on those keyword terms. And then we plug in your rankings, so you can actually track where you're standing for your keywords. And once you see yourself pop into the top 100 for a keyword, oh my God, it will light a fire under your rear like you've never felt before. Like when you see sell my house Baltimore, I'm number 2 in the entire planet for this keyword term, I got no worries. It's like Dave said, it's like my baby. Like when I saw Baltimore Realtors, this just popped back to 12 and I got back up to 8 within like a week and a half of creating my own page. I was like, my baby's being disrespected. So I had to pop my baby back up into the feeds. And look at this, another update. I just moved up 1 spot. Look at that. I just moved back up to number 7. I'm moving down in a couple areas. So these are keyword terms that I'm not showing too much love to right now. So now I know which content to create, because I'm hurting for Baltimore real estate agents. I'm on page number 2. So now what I have to do is create some more content around Baltimore real estate agents. The other thing is, when you come into your location pages, this is really big, guys. Like, so when people are Googling, like I have an investor website and I have a retail website. So like home buyers in Middle River, MD. This isn't searched that much, but I show up page 1, honest home buyers, right here, right under all the ads. And this is another method. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see what's going on here. That's another method for us to actually find out, find buyers, is to, here, hold on 1 second. Let's see if that works. There we go. Hold on 1 second. That's the wrong one. HonestHomeBuyers.com, right here. For whatever reason, that's not working right now. So we'll come back to that. But basically, there's location pages and there's regular pages. The location pages are going to be the keywords that are like homes for sale in. And then what you'll do is you'll create like, like, for example, I'll show you one right now. So we can do like Pikesville MD homes for sale. I just created this one not too long ago. I'm on page 2, creeping my way up to page 1. Look at that, 720 searches per month, very cheap cost per click, right? So I could literally spend $20 to be up here and I'll get 40 clicks per month, give or take. Or I could just show up organically, which is what I'm doing right now on page 2. I'll just show you an example of what a page looks like. Here I am, Kirk Home Group. Here's my Pikesville, Maryland location page. So what I do is I build these out for my clients. I'm sure there's a ton of towns around Hoboken, New Jersey that keywords that people are searching for. So I have a little bit of information about Pikesville. And then I have an IDX feed for all the homes that are for sale, because my goal is to get people to search on my website for their home for sale in Pikesville versus Redfin, versus Realtor, right? Versus Zillow. So what I'm going to do, this page will be on page 1. It's inevitable. It's going to get up there because I'm doing some work right now to get it there. So that way, when people are Googling Pikesville MD homes for sale, I'm going to show up right here with the top pages that are on page 1. Now, keep in mind how strategic I am about this specific term, Pikesville MD homes for sale. If I remove the MD, watch what happens. It goes from 720 down to 210 searches per month. It bothers me more than ever when I see people have titles to their location pages that are not even searched. Some people have like, homes in Pikesville. Well, nobody's searching that. You know what I mean? You have to do the research first to find out what people are actually typing in to Google, and then reverse engineer the way that you connect with them through creating content and doing your on-page SEO to make sure that's dialed in. So that's just an example of, what we do to kind of make sure that we show up and we rank on page 1, is to do the keyword research, whether we're looking for, the targeted realtors or real estate agents keyword, or the homes for sale in keyword. Yeah, so I really like to keep the Google My Business profile keywords around the real estate agents in and realtors in. And then I leave the homes for sale keywords for the website location pages, because you do not have an IDX feed on your Google My Business profile.
Is there a way to play like offense against your competition as well? Like, can you see how they're ranking?
Yes.
and go and like body them out of a position or something?
Great question, bro. Let's go ahead back to that, right? So check this out. So Pikesville, Maryland homes, Pikesville, let's do this. Pikesville MD homes for sale. So let's type this in. Check this out, dude. When you have the keyword plugin on, I can literally go to look, here's my competitor, realtor.com. They're number 1 organically. Look at this. I can go ahead and snipe their keywords right here. So I can literally see all the keywords that my competition is using. I'm like, okay, cool. They're ranking on page 1 for this. Let's just see what they're using, right? And then this will show you all of the keywords that are in their website. Obviously, you're not going to get right away to where you are, to where Pikesville is. So you have to scroll down and you'll finally get there in one of the pages. But these are by far their most profitable keywords. Let me show you something that's a little bit more well-rounded. So I'll do realtors in Baltimore. So you see here, 590 searches per month, cost per click of $4.82. And then here's the number 1 spot right here. So I can look at their total keywords. They got 30 keywords right here. Let's check it out. So look, there you have it. Realtor Baltimore MD, estimated traffic. They're getting 27 people per month to come in. Like, this is a new keyword that I'm going to make a note of that real quick. Okay. And I'm going to be creating content around that, because look, this keyword is trending like a mofo right now, where all the other ones are pretty much down, except for realtors and MD, which is a huge keyword, right? So this is a way for you to really snipe your competition to find out what's working for them.
So Jonathan, you said, okay, just for everybody else, you said Realtor Baltimore MD, you're gonna build content around that keyword. Tell us what that means. Tell us what
I'm doing it right now. Watch, I'm doing it right now. Watch this.
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to go to my rankings first, because that's a very high trending keyword.
Yep.
I'm going to plug it into my keyword analyzer and I'm going to start tracking it. You've added all 20. So I have to delete a keyword in order to get that in there. But let's say once I get that in there, I'll go ahead and upload this in my rankings so I can start tracking that keyword. What I would do is I would come over here to content, probably create a brand new page, add new. Once that uploads, I'll show you kind of a little bit. So here, add title, right? But before I do that, I'll come down to my audit. I'll put in my keyword right there. Boom. Realtor Baltimore MD. First, I'm going to capitalize it. And guys, I have 10 minutes before I have to hop onto my 12 noon coach call, but I'm going to rock and roll for you as long as I can here. Might be able to push that back a couple minutes. So here you have it in audit right there. So you see all these red flags, Dave. So what I'm
Yep.
going to do is I'm going to piece by piece satisfy them. Look, the subject is not found in the meta title. You should add it. Okay, cool. So I'll copy and paste that. Come over here, meta title. Boom. Hold on, I'm just going to do KHG. Let's come back over here to audit. Green check, meta title's been satisfied. Page title, the subject is not found in the page title. You should add it. Okay, cool, no problem. Let's go all the way up here to the page title. Boom. Now it's in my page title. Green check, yes, please. Thank you. Introduction, subject is not found in the introduction. You should highlight it. So then I'm going to put that in the introduction and just basically follow the plugin that guides me to get my on-page SEO dialed in. And then it's really about embedding some really cool content. So let's say I want to come over here and I want to go to my YouTube channel and I want to pull one of my videos over from my YouTube channel. I could just go like this. Watch this. Let's see here. So come to my channel. Let's say, why isn't my house selling? Baltimore Realtors. That keyword is Googled over 260 times per month nationally. So I'll just go ahead and take that right there. Come back over here to my page. I'm going to go ahead and embed my YouTube channel. Boom. I'm going to put that bad boy up in there. Okay. Come back over here. I'm going to take my whole entire transcription because again, guys, Google doesn't have eyes or ears. Google only has crawlers. So if you're not taking everything you're saying and transcribing it, Google is not going to be able to read and rank it as efficiently as they would otherwise. So I'm going to come back over here, pop the transcription right underneath there, probably break that up a little bit, make it a little bit more readable, a little bit more pleasant to the eye. Once that's good to go, I'll come back over here to the page URL. So basically you want to add the keyword into the subject density. So look, the subject is not found in the introduction. All right, cool. So guess what? I'm going to go like this. Let's put it right here. Realtor, Baltimore, MD. And then I'll add some more words to make that make sense. But now more than likely, see, it went from a red flag to an orange flag. Subject density, the subject is not found recognizable from the content. I can literally plug, top Realtor MD, what's the keyword term again? Baltimore Realtor Baltimore MD. So top Realtor Baltimore MD specialist, Jonathan Kirk says, first thing, like whatever. I could put anything in there. And now I got green checks in the introduction. Now my subject density is going from red flag to orange flag. Meta description. Okay, you want it in the meta description? Here we go. Meta description right here. Boom. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Let me go ahead and get that out of there. So hold on a second. I'm literally just doing the one page right now. Realtor Baltimore MD with the Kirk home group. Can't spell. Of EXP Realty. Here to serve. Whatever the case is.
That's great.
I come back over here to audit, and now my meta description has turned to a check. So you just step by step, just kind of check them off. You publish it, and then you'll see this right here. This is your SEO score. It's currently unknown, but let's say if I publish this page, which I'll do. I'll come back over here to my pages.
And I feel like that's one of those things that, like, again, you're speaking a completely different language to me, but it doesn't look like I'd have to do it more than a few times to understand what it wants, right?
No, dude, it's really, really simple.
It's actually telling you what to do. You just have to follow the directions.
It tells you what to do. It does. Realtor, here it is right here. So it says here, my SEO grade is fair. So I would come back in here, dial it up a little bit more, which literally takes me 5-10 minutes to just focus concentration, and I'll get it to be completely green. But in a nutshell, this is basically what I do to get to page one. So like right over here, it wants my URL slug. Watch this. So it says, if I come to audit and I click down on this, it'll tell me page URL. It's found in the URL. Linking, subject density. It's not recognizable from the content. So I could put Realtor Baltimore MD in one more spot. Let's do like right here, Realtor Baltimore MD. Let's see if that did it. Subject density. Yep, a little bit better. So now we can upload it, update it again. Maybe it'll go to green, maybe not. Nope, still fair. So I have to do a little bit more work to kind of get it to rank in the green, but just in a couple seconds, you see check, 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 check. And that's really what's going to determine whether or not your page is going to have on-page SEO. And then that's just one aspect to it. Then, of course, we have the off-page SEO, which is all the backlinkings, the citations, the social backlinks, which I use developers in different countries to do that at a good cost. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do just for the website. That's a whole different platform than your Google My Business profile, whole different platform than your YouTube channel. So what we consult on here at JDK Real Estate Coaching and Consulting is how to optimize content across the platforms, but first to really empower you to do your keyword research in the first place to find out, like, what are the buzzwords in my local market that I can dominate for and create the content around. I'm just going to push back this real quick meeting, just 5 minutes. Any questions, guys?
That's probably what you just did in 4 minutes is probably an hour for anybody else. Right. But don't get it. I mean, guys, that was like a lot of stuff he just did in 4 minutes, but it's really, if you think about it, it's just a matter of writing an article and titling it. And you just got to worry about what the keyword is. That's what's got to be in there. It's like Yoast SEO, like with WordPress and stuff.
That's it. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, Dave. I use the Yoast SEO plugin for my WordPress website. Now I'm coming over to my Google My Business profile. So like this thing, here are all my different locations. Let's see here. Here's the Kirk Home Group of eXp Realty. So you could see like the traffic that you have every single month. But if you guys are not treating this Google My Business profile like, you know, the Facebook of your business, you're missing out on a large pillar of income. I mean, like I post to this religiously, and look, Baltimore real estate for sale, Baltimore real producers. I'm always peppering in the keyword terms that I want to rank for. Baltimore realtors. There you go. Baltimore real estate agents are encouraged to show all their buyers are Baltimore homes for sale. And I got typos in there. I mean, I got to go back there and kind of dial them in, but I'm not doing it for anybody to read. I'm doing this for Google. Okay. Make no mistake about it. I'm doing this for Google. So Google can read and rank my material and, you know, put me up on page 1 of the search engines.
That's awesome. So so if somebody's saying, hey, this is badass, I want to know more about this, I want to get into your world, like what does that look like? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, you can go to my website and just book time to chat with me right there at johndavidkirk.com, JON davidkirk.com. You can literally click the Calendly right there and you can just apply or just schedule time on my calendar. We'll just have a free, no obligation consultation. I'll just meet with you for about 45 minutes to an hour. We'll do some research in your local market and see if it's a fit for us to work together.
I dig it, man. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up?
No, I need to get you on my broadcast in a month or so.
Happy to, Dave. Would love to. Heard great things about you as well, my man. So I would love to.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Karen.
I have a really quick question. As far as I'm not as involved as I should be, Jonathan, thank you for today. What about legal like aspects? Like, is there something we shouldn't say? Just a really quick question.
Sure. Yeah. No, not really. You know what I mean? You're pretty much free to kind of say what you want. I mean, obviously you don't want to bash anybody or any competition. I don't even bring them up. Like literally you're so strategic about the content that you're creating that there's no room for you to say anything other than that, because it's going to confuse the search engines. So you want to be as targeted as possible for every video that you create, for every post that you post. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with that. The one thing that I do know is that if you share other people's content too much, Google will penalize you. Another thing that you could get in trouble for is if you do too many backlinks too quick and you're paying like somebody at Fiverr to do it for you, sometimes you can get penalized as well. They will de-rank your website. If they're not high authority, legitimate backlinks, you can get penalized for that. So I encourage everybody to do everything as organically as possible, just natural. Share it to your Facebook, share it to your LinkedIn, share it to your Twitter, repost it to your Google My Business profile. And if it's current, relevant, and original enough, you're gonna work out. And Brett, I pushed back a couple of minutes just in case anybody has other questions, but if you want to wrap up, that's totally cool as well.
I got one other question for you. You know, people talk about Facebook doesn't like you to post YouTube URLs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, if it's a blog, if it's a website, what's the way around that? Is it the URL in the first comment?
Yes, great question, man. So Facebook does not like YouTube, but Facebook likes other websites. So you're going to embed your YouTube video into your website page and then share that website page to social media. So that way you're like getting, you know, 2 for the price of 1, right? Double your bang, right? So you got your website being shared to Facebook, and embedded in that website is your YouTube video. So that's absolutely a great question, Dave. You never want to share YouTube videos directly to Facebook. In actuality, Facebook doesn't like anything other than what they are. They want you to stay on their platform. So anything that diverts away from them, they're not gonna congratulate you by, giving you to as many people. They're not going to let you be seen as much, not as much exposure. So I natively share my MP4 to Facebook business page, just like I natively share my video to YouTube. And then after I share that video, it's under the video sections in my Facebook business page. I will then share the blog once that's published.
Love it. Love it. I'll be in touch. That's for sure.
Awesome, brother. Great questions. Thank you.
I was going to say one question I had too, and then I think we could jump is, if we're already using Boomtown or using Ylopo, do these websites, are we able to do that? Or do you recommend doing another website as well?
I can work on anything WordPress. Okay. Like I've got some clients that have given me some other things that I don't know. Like I'm working on another website right now that's a little newer. And it's got like a plugin on the back end. They utilize Yoast SEO. So we are able to get to the back end WordPress, but my specialty is WordPress. However, if you know how to work your Boomtown, if you know how to do that, I can learn it and kind of help you facilitate the growth through that platform, because they all kind of operate in the same manner or fashion, just a little bit differentiation between all of them. There's a couple minor tweaks, like for like Agent Fire compared to my WordPress website. But at the end, it's all the same. And if you know how to operate it, that's all that matters. If you can create a new page, if we can work on the on-page SEO together, that's all I need in order to sink my teeth into your business and help inject that rocket fuel into it that's missing currently.
If you're working on something like Ylopo that's done off of Squarespace, they've got an SEO page on the back end. So you just log into your Squarespace config page and you can go right from there.
My man, Pete.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good.
Pete is my
Taking this
partner,
back.
guys. Pete is my partner in minutepages.com, which is actually getting ready to launch very soon as well. He's a technology genius as well. And, I get a lot of great information from Pete. He helps me communicate my platforms together. So if you guys need any help with Zaps or anything like that, Pete is your guy for that. Just a high level dude. Highly recommend.
Sweet. Pleasure to meet you, Pete.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
All right, cool.
Everybody.
John, you the man. I appreciate it. You make my head flip upside down and give me a new project to go work on. So we'll definitely be in touch. Ursula, real quick, asks, what's the 12-week training cost, or should she just book with you and then go into that?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's $291 per session. There's 4 sessions per week per month. So it's $1166 up front, which is 4 sessions paid up front. That'll get you one-to-one per week with me. It'll get you access to the inner circle, where we have all of our 65 plus coaching clients across the country. We're all collaborating, masterminding at a high level. Like anything else, the network is the true net worth. When you're seeing, like, one of my clients, Rick Thompson's absolutely killing it in Cumming, Georgia. He created a YouTube video probably 2 weeks ago. It went viral within the first couple of days, 12,000 views, landed like over $1.8 million in clients just from that. So, I have clients that are literally 10Xing what I'm teaching them and doing way better than I'm doing in my local market, because every market is different. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And right now that's actually going to be going up soon, but currently right now, that's where the price is.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Rock it out. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Later.
Thank you too. You've been great.
Thank you.